Good morning, good night, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. We are back with another commentary for And Just Like That this week. We are at episode 6. I don't know the title yet. I kind of just woke up. Y'all, I wake up early to do this for you. Why does a week feel so long? I think maybe I've been spoiled with so many streaming services just dropping a whole season. But I kind of like this week to week because it leaves us looking something to look forward to so we can talk about it with each other. But a week, man, those 7 days feel so long. So I told you guys that I was shooting for 700 subs and we got it. We got it, and it's all thanks to you. Thanks so much for tuning in. And if you guys are watching all the time and you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? It's fun around here. We're talking about shows and movies and sometimes romance books. So join the party. I think you can guess that the next goal is like 750, 800, but for now we will celebrate, we will bask in the 700. I think now I'm actually around 719 at the time of this recording. So again, thank you so much, and let's watch this episode. Hey, just finished watching the episode. It's called Bomb Cyclone. Let's jump right. Well, actually, before we start, if you guys can hit that thumbs up, that really helps me out. It helps to elevate the visibility of the video so that more people can find it and hit subscribe. Let's start with the end, because I think I've been calling it out every single week that problems are brewing between Shay and Miranda in every single episode. There's just more and more proof that they would not be a great match, at least not in this time of their lives. So there is a breakup. There's a breakup, and we're praising hallelujah, finally. So there's a breakup with Shay, and then Miranda and Steve have a very emotional scene, you guys. I think I almost kind of teared up. I wasn't tearing up, but I was choking up because Steve, who has been pretty much in the background and kind of quiet and I guess silently dealing with the impending divorce in his own way, he blows up at Miranda when she brings up the whole, why are you not moving out? What's going on? Because they have not been officially divorced yet. And I don't think that I realized that. They have not been officially divorced. And it feels like both of them are waiting for the other person to kind of make that first move. Miranda really wanted Steve to be the one to do it because she didn't want to add fuel to the fire when she's the reason why they are in this breakup. He has not made the moves and the steps to do so. He is still wearing his wedding ring. And apparently he told Carrie that he wouldn't ever take it off, which is odd when you think about what he has been doing, which we will talk about. But she finally brings it up as he comes home and she's just folding laundry, and she brings up the fact that, hey, how's apartment hunting going? And he's like, I'm not moving. It's my house. And then Miranda's like, well, tell that to the mortgage because my name is on it. And then this is where he blows up, and it gets very emotional because he is saying that he made the kitchen, he made the door, he made this and that. Like, he built the house. And they did build the home together. But then it really tears her to pieces when he says, you never wanted me and you never wanted Brady. And then that is when waterworks come from Miranda. And it was really heartbreaking to see because I just loved Steve and Miranda back in the day, and they're at this point now where they're kind of avoiding each other and they have not been able to remain friends. And that is one of the topics of discussion throughout this entire episode. And they're talking about still being friends with their ex. Charlotte mentions that she was open to still talking to her ex-husband Trey, but he didn't want that. But it's okay because we don't want to see Trey. Why? We love Charlotte and Harry. Why are you talking to her ex-husband? And for the first time in this season, we hear about Aiden, okay, which I kind of got a little bit excited because I thought, oh, is he going to come? Because I know that Aiden Shaw, the actor, oh my gosh, forgetting his name. So sorry. He's supposed to come back this season, but we don't know when. But we finally hear a mention of his name and I got excited. But I'm also a little hesitant about that because him and Carrie were in love, but they were just never on the same page. I don't know if I would want to see them back together. I just feel like it's too convenient. Like, they made it seem like Carrie was always supposed to end up with Big and not with Aiden. She had these two loves of her lives, but only, there was the one guy that she was truly desperate for and whatnot. But so they talk about him a little bit, and then later on we see her writing an email to Aiden. By the way, we got a little bit of background on his history. He lives in Virginia now. He is divorced now for like 5 years, which I found, again, convenient. and he sold his furniture company, because remember, he was a furniture maker person. He sold the company for a pretty penny, so of course now he is a rich man. And I find the divorce to be a convenient thing, because clearly this opens up the door for them to form some sort of relationship again with each other. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that happening. I don't want to say that people don't get second chances and that second chances are not realistic, but I think it's a complicated history because of the whole cheating on him thing. Even though Aiden did take her back after that situation, even while she still remained friends with the boyfriend, with the ex-boyfriend that I don't, Aiden is too good for Carrie. But then again, they are both older, like they're both in their 50s now, and they may have, I mean, I'm sure they have both moved past all of that history. I hope we see a budding friendship first. If they did bring him back for him to be Carrie's new boo thing, I hope we see a natural progression to that. I want it to make sense. If you're gonna do it, because it was always Aiden big, and clearly Aiden was always the better choice, but you know, Carrie's toxic, so she picked big. But if you're gonna bring Aiden, because now she is a widow and she's supposed to be all like wiser and smarter, let it be something that makes sense and there is a natural progression, because I think both of those characters have earned that. After living whole ass lives away from each other, they both have gone through marriages, divorces, children. For Aiden, some of them have moved states. Aiden moved to Virginia. I want to see that be like a medium burn. If I had to choose another theme for this episode besides the question, can you be friends with your ex, I would say condoms and widows. So a lot of this episode takes place at, or it's surrounding, this Widocon, which is a hilarious name. And at first I was worried that that was the actual name of the convention, because there's this certain actual cons that are questionable that go on in the world, but it's a nickname that the organization does not appreciate, but it's pretty funny. So Carrie is asked to go there because she has written a new book where it's about her husband dying, and she's asked to go there to read and to inspire people. She asks Shay to go with her because she is so nervous to talk up front of people, and Shay is just so good at that. They're so good at like working a crowd and being funny. So Carrie needed that moral support. I have to say, I really appreciate that they still have a friendship, because this is someone that she feels very comfortable talking and also coming to her in her time of need. So I love when we have some really cool and good friendship moments. I hope that doesn't go away, even though I'm glad that Shay and Miranda are broken up because they were not good partners. I hope we continue seeing Shay and Carrie be friends, though I guess that could get awkward for Miranda, but it could be a good lesson for Miranda, who knows. They're at this convention, and then there's a lady that goes in front of Carrie as she's doing her thing with the crowd, doing her speech. She's basically a comedian, though. She's being really funny. She's working the crowd very well, and this makes Carrie even more nervous, to the point where she asks Shay for a joke. But when Carrie goes out there and she tries to be funny, it falls flat. And then the episode shows you that later on, when she is just talking about her book and she's reading from her book, that is when the audience is super moved. So I really like this moment for Carrie. It kind of taught her a lesson to just calm the fuck down and just be yourself. That's why you were asked here. We want you to be you. So that's a great moment for her. It was also a great moment for Shay, which I appreciated, because Shay has been locked up in their apartments being super depressed about their pilot, and which is understandable, because something you are looking forward to and you hope and dream about, and then it doesn't work out, and then some things in life don't work out and they hurt you so bad that you're at the point where you are depressed and heartbroken. But going to the Widocon is something that Shay really needed, because they were in a room with a bunch of people who have lost the loves of their lives, and they have been able to find a way through it, whether that's through comedy or writing a book about it where you're expressing your grief. So they see that and they're like, y'all have lost your loves. My ego just got shot down. That's nothing. I can move through this. I mean, it's not nothing. I don't want to minimize someone's pain, because everyone's pain is valid and real, but I like this scene because it's something that really helped Shay to move past the depression and also realize that maybe I need a breakup with Miranda. We're both turning into the worst versions of ourselves around each other. Maybe it's time we let this go. So I'm giving Shay points for that. I think so far they have been painting Shay as not being a very likable character. They've been shown as being not considerate. I appreciate this breakup because I think the breakup will make them both better people. Another very important story in this episode was Lily. Lily, who literally announces to her parents one morning that she's planning on losing her virginity that day. And I appreciate the sex positivity because I think in the past with Charlotte's character, she has been shown oftentimes to be this kind of like high-strung character and kind of like rigid. But I appreciate that with time, as she has gotten older, while she may still feel some type of way about it, she is sure to act very supportive, and she is listening to what her kid is telling her, and she just supports her. So while they may have been a little bit freaked out at first, I like that they feel comfortable enough to talk to their kids about, okay, well, this is something that you're talking about, thinking about, and you say that you're going to do it. Okay, just, remember condoms, remember that, and being safe. And I really liked that. I think that was a moment of growth. I think they could have gone the other way with that character because of what I said about Charlotte earlier, but I like it. I do think the hijinks of like, oh my goodness, I need to find a condom for my daughter. It felt like I was watching a different type of show. I felt like it was very sitcom-y, which I think it's part of the criticism that this new iteration of this show gets is just it doesn't always feel like the OG Sex in the City, although last week's episode did. This one felt more like a sitcom. And I have to say, if the characters are in a different place because they have grown, it's been so many years, and now they have families and their children are growing up, it's gotta turn into a different kind of story. So I understand why that was there. It didn't always feel that whole scene just felt like something different for the show. Characters change, they evolve, and some people are gonna go for that and some people won't. For me, I liked the sex positive talk. I could have lived without the I'm seeking for a condom at all the drugstore. I think that one of the things that this show does is showing you a relationship where the partners may not be the best for each other, and then a relationship where the partners find ways to move through their tiffs or their fights. And for example, in this episode, Lisa and Herbert are kind of struggling with juggling both of their careers. They are both very important and driven people. So in this episode, both of them have super important events to attend for both of their careers. So they kind of have a little bit of a fight about like, well, who's going to go to whose event? They kind of have a little bit of like a fight about, which event they're going to attend, but they move through it. And even though there is a cyclone that is going on, a snow cyclone, I think it's very representative of where certain characters are at certain points and moments of their lives in this episode. And I think in this relationship, they're kind of going through like a swirl, like, what do we do? How do we navigate this? But at the end of the day, they are there for each other and they're supportive. And I like seeing that there is a relationship in this show where it feels a little bit more realistic. They love each other, they still have intimacy, but they still have their careers, and sometimes they're going to hit some roadblocks, but it's about how they're going to work through that. So I really enjoyed Herbert and Lisa's storyline in this episode. Speaking of loving friendship moments, I always love seeing Seema. I think I'm just obsessed with just like, she has this air about her that's just super fabulous and confident and beautiful. And in this episode, she is trying to ask Carrie to rent a house with her in the Hamptons for the summer. And I think at first she feels a little bit more vulnerable. She's a very kind of like strong and hard character. And I think she felt vulnerable asking Carrie to go out to the Hamptons with her. I get the feeling that Seema may not have a lot of close friends. And I think she considers Carrie a close friend now. So that's probably why she felt a little bit more shy to ask her. But Carrie is a girl's girl, as we know. So she is down to go to the Hamptons and rent a house. I hope we get to see some scenes in the Hamptons then, because I want to see some more touching friendship moments. I think that was always one of the strong points of Sex in the City, just like its legacy. Yes, there was a lot of relationships, sex talk, and sex scenes, but at the end of the day, The women were the loves of each other's lives, and I'm here for it. I want to see some more friendship moments. Hopefully we get some more. All right, you guys, that's it. That is my recap and reaction. Please let me know what you guys think. I didn't rate this yet. I'm gonna rate this a 3.5. I have to be honest, I think so far that is my lowest rating. This one did feel a little bit like a lull. Like I said, I didn't love the hijinks of the condom, but I appreciated some of the emotional touch points like the Shay and Miranda breakup, because that needed to happen, you know, like that has been setting up and then that paid off. So I appreciate the writing there. And I also enjoy the friendship moments. As I said, I think 3.5 is pretty fair. I think I have been generally really nice to this show so far. Sometimes I'm up for some of the evolutions, and sometimes some things that they change up don't really work for me, and that's okay because we've got a lot more episodes to go. We'll see how the season ends. When is Aiden gonna come? Who knows? Thank you guys so much for enjoying the content. I'll have more coming up. Don't forget to hit that big thumbs up, subscribe, leave me a comment, and I'll catch you guys next time.